So, Matt, do you agree with Nick that Mahomes doesn't need to stack rings to surpass Brady in the same way LeBron doesn't need 6 rings to pass Jordan?
This is a tough question, and I think we're always trying to figure out who is what. Right. First of all, everyone we've mentioned are great in their own right. I just know Mahomes is on a hell of a pace, but 4 Super Bowls in his first 6 years?
Yeah.
I mean, hell of a pace. I feel like overall, as a talent, Mahomes is a better talent, more talented quarterback than Tom Brady. Tom Brady played a lot of years and got 7 rings. So to me, it's some people hold talent as the ultimate, decider. Some people hold merchandise, I mean, what you've done, especially in the NBA with, what's his name from the Celtics that won 7 rings.
Bill Russell.
Yeah, Bill Russell runs, 11 rings.
11.
You mean, so it just kind of depends on,
and a couple of them was as a coach, too.
Yeah, this is all opinion-based. At the end of the day, I think just to even be in this conversation, you're great. Tom Brady, as we stand right now, is the GOAT in the NFL. But I feel like Mahomes has more talent than Tom Brady, but it's going to, how many rings can you win? And then when he's done, you're going to have to chop that up and
figure it out. What's so crazy, like you said, these conversations, so clearly everybody except Bill Russell,
right?
I got an opportunity to see play. Whether it was me hanging out with Michael Jordan early in my career, going to Chicago, sitting courtside, or New York, or whatever the case is. When I was a young kid, wearing a knee sleeve, even though nothing was wrong with my damn knee, rolling it down.
Over for the red,
I had to have the red, you know what I'm saying? And so, LeBron, you look at his situation, he's been to 10 finals, I think, 11 finals, or whatever the number is, and how many championships. When I look at that, I say to myself, I just enjoy watching the greatness because everybody's standards of a GOAT is a little bit different, right? Tom Brady say 7 rings. Why don't say 7 rings? Because I look at Joe Montana, he was 4-0, just like Jordan was 6-0. He has 0 interceptions in the Super Bowl. So some people, even Joe, is like, come on, man.
Right.
I don't care how you got 7 and you've been at 10. I've been to 4 and we dominated
Flawless.
Every single time.
Flawless.
So now when you talk about Brady's career at the beginning, Tom Brady's career at the beginning, he didn't win no MVPs, none, 0. Patrick Mahomes got 2 MVPs already. Okay, plus 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Plus he's been to the Super Bowl 4 times in 6. He's been in the AFC Championship game 6 straight times. So when you point to Brady's success early in his career, the first thing we can talk about is, well, he dinked and dunked along the way. He got some help. He had one of the all-time great coaching staffs. One of the, not considered, I'm not even talking about with Bill Belichick. I'm just talking about the assistants with Romeo Crennels and Charlie Weiss's.
Tutelage
I mean, that's something totally different, right? And in terms of Brady, then there was a 10-year stretch there where they didn't win anything. And then he went on a nice little magical carpet ride again. So I look at it and I say, no, it's not going to take 7. Patrick Mahomes, for people to really start to say GOAT to him.
3 or 4?
I think he's going to take at least 4. And then people are going to be like, okay, because if you discount the early success of Brady, who didn't win any MVPs at all, and his cast, okay, yeah, he had Tyreek Hill and he had Kelsey. But Brady quietly had some Hall of Famers on the defensive side of the ball and had a tight end in Gronkowski, nice little system players in Wes Welker, along with Julian Edelman, a beast with Corey Dillon in the backfield. I mean, and third down specialist in Kevin Falk. I mean, I could go through the whole gauntlet of reasons why early Brady won championships. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but I also could balance that off with looking at Patrick Mahomes. First thing everybody said last year, they're done. There's no Tyreek Hill. Man, what this motherfucker go out there and do? He went out there and won a damn Super Bowl. Oh, they're bad. They're going to lose to the Ravens. They're on the road. There's no way they'll beat Miami. They'll go to Buffalo and lose. This dude went to Buffalo and beat Josh Allen, then went on the road and beat Baltimore, who had the number 1 seed, beat them, and now he getting ready to go to Vegas and play a team that he throttled a year ago in San Francisco.
Hey, take it easy now.
I mean, I'm just saying. I know you're a Bay Area guy and everything, but
no, I feel you.
It's just when you look at it.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at it and you say these things, but it's a good conversation to have.
Absolutely. Again, all of this is
and nobody will ever beat Jordan.
No.
And the reason nobody ever beat Jordan, because he created the shoe game, man. His off the court stuff is ridiculous.
I mean, I think it's safe to say that LeBron will have an all-time career.
Yes.
Better than Jordan, but absolutely. We're talking about player. to me, it's hard to crack that. It's hard to crack what MJ accomplished. And to me, when they ask me, who's the GOAT or who is, I feel like, MJ, Kobe, and Bron are all in that upper echelon. I mean, it's opinion based. You may have one,
and that's just like you say, opinion based. I never start NBA all time great conversations without mentioning Kareem, because I too saw him play toward the end of his career. But I also know the history of basketball.
Yeah, right.
He won at every single level that he's ever played on.
You're right.
I mean, they put rules in for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Are you taking a prime Kareem or a prime Shaq?
A prime Kareem or a prime Shaq? Man, they couldn't do nothing. They couldn't do nothing with the cap, though, man. From what I understand. See, I didn't see him play in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
I was a kid.
Yeah,
but from everything that I heard, they couldn't do nothing with him.
Mm-hmm.
You just couldn't do nothing with him. Now, I saw Shaq play, obviously, LSU all the way through the end of his career. It feels like, okay, so what era are we talking?
Just when Shaq is...
When Shaq was Shaq. Skinny Shaq in Orlando.
Yeah, 25 to...
I don't know.
To 30,
because the Dream gave him work when he was in Orlando.
Dream was crazy.
He gave him work in Orlando.
That was a baby Shaq. Yeah.
So...
Right. No, you're absolutely right. But I feel like Shaq played in an era where there was more big-time centers, and this is no knock to before us. When people talk about Wilt and these guys, like I don't feel like they played against the level of competition, obviously, that Shaq night in, night out. You got to think in the mid-'90s to the early 2000s, you had to have a big man to win a championship. The shooting came later.
Well, how many? Okay, so you had Patrick Ewing, you had Lonzo, you had Dream, you had Shaq. Who else am I missing? That was a big.
Rick Schmidt. I mean, there's a bunch of big guys that may not have been like all-star Hall of Fame level, but there was just big guys that could really play. You think Schmitz in
Rick
Indiana,
Schmitz, whatever his name is.
Who else? We got to remember that. I mean, there was just a lot of. No,
there was some bigs. I'm just throwing a blank right now.
Me too, for some reason.
I'm trying to think who, but no, they were.